The NDP and Finance Minister Fletcher James gave us a preview of their first fiscal update since taking the helm of the province in July. They are set to deliver their first budget on September 11th. However, we're not expected to see many changes in tax policy, nor much new spending until the spring budget from this green-backed NDP government. I guess being a minority government is restricting the destroyers just a little bit, and thank goodness for that. But what was revealed by James and the Finance Ministry in the data and numbers provided essentially proves right and makes the case for fiscal conservative policies when it comes to taxation. While some conservatives and our viewers at home may not have considered the BC Liberals a true conservative party, they did position British Columbia to have the lowest income taxes and lowest corporate taxes of any province in Canada. Now, the reason why we conservatives believe this is the best approach is because it not only makes life easier on individuals and corporations by letting them keep more of their hard-earned money in their pockets and deliver more profits to their shareholders, but also because we believe that low tax rates actually bring in more dollars into the government via taxation, because you will have a larger pool of revenue to draw from than if you raised tax rates and scared off business and economic growth. It's no secret British Columbia was and still is leading the country in GDP growth at well over 3% each year. In the update, Fletcher James proved this fiscal economic theory correct. There has been an unexpected increase in the province's operating surplus. The audited books of the province show an additional $3.4 billion in revenues against what the ministry estimated for the fiscal year that ended in March. This includes an additional $1.5 billion in income tax revenues and $212 million in additional corporate tax revenues. Then throw in $305 million in provincial sales tax revenues, an additional $787 million in property transfer taxes. And you see, the fiscal situation we are in here in BC is pretty good. And if we had returned those BC Liberals to power, despite my disdain for their carbon tax and their approach to dealing with foreign capital flooding the Vancouver real estate market, we, yes, us, the citizens of BC, would likely see some of this money returned to us in the form of tax breaks. But now with an NDP Green government, you just know this money is going to be spent. According to a Victoria News article by Tom Fletcher, Fletcher James suggested the reason for this unexpected surplus was, well, not because of the economic theory I outlined about keeping rates low to grow the revenue pool to tax from. No, certainly no NDP would ever concede that. Let me read from the article now. Quote, James said that the surplus is a result of a strong economy and also program underfunding by the former government that left people not sharing in the province's prosperity, unquote. Well, I'm not sure how an increase in government spending is going to help people share in the province's prosperity, but I do digress. Because didn't that statement just seem like code for spending increases and tax hikes on the rich and likely corporations? Keep in mind, it was the NDP who stated clearly during the campaign, from Horgan to James, that they all want to see an increase in corporate tax rates, as well as potentially bringing back a high-income tax bracket. And the problem isn't those policies alone. I think corporations could probably afford a 1% tax increase, and the rich could probably afford to pay a little bit more. But keep in mind, the current 11% corporate tax rate was around 17% when the NDP were in power in the 90s under Glenn Clark. But will there be any corporations left in this province to tax, given this new government's hostility to natural resources, and in particular oil and gas? We aren't even 2 months in, and we've already seen this government attempt to obstruct the Kinder Morgan pipeline expansion, basically kill most of the LNG industry with their hostility towards fracking. And well, one of the major contractors for the Site C dam would have to go into receivership if that project is delayed or cancelled. So when you combine what is likely to be a dramatic decrease in economic activity with an increase in taxes and massive spending increases, this province could very well become a have-not province very quickly. And don't think it's not possible either. We need only look over at the Liberal government of Ontario, who, let's be honest, are more like an NDP government, as they've taken the largest provincial economy in Canada and made it the most indebted sub-sovereign jurisdiction in North America. Sad. Look, Fletcher James, John Horgan, and the BC NDP, all they're doing is reminding the country the real meaning of the letters BC. Bring cash. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson. Internet censors are trying to kill the Rebel, but we've got a plan to fight back. Visit istandwiththerebel.com and watch the video for all the details.